nkofo grow so ayato ni din full time no ye de Abraham ye frame Cinco de Maria no pay obete Jeffrey Asari Apostle nka wo show no so obete Philip Kwabena nkum sanka obete Sir Prince nka wo jumade so Orlando e de fi semna bebre abra Aziz Osman Maega Mr. Work e chief executive producer o make sure say wabobo ansem ya no na no pay ye de Abraham wo jumade so anya grok e be kwa mo no nsem ni pi Efra mo no ne e be no CAF Champions League first leg of the quarterfinals no matches ni because one semi na no our tip off no so no pay the brand latest development free no amadis ni money other stories make headlines ni na aboa no deba any other transfer stories aboa no deba dia na mad the four ahead of almost second leg omo any Arsenal Edibo ni was Santiago Bernabeu after the first leg bounce for Emirates Arsenal share almost 3-0 ansem way any afufuro pi aboa no deba e wodumadi so anya go kwantempa so beba fie na ya bedi afisam no honkomo kuma se asante koroko ho nsempi wo ha ya boa no deba ha so folk ho nsensem wo ha ye bewuram e wo ministry or sports ministry na nsempi ne free sports ministry ba ni na no ya de ho nsensem bana fe ya Ghana Premier League no so nsem wo ha ya ni coach ya prako di nkomo exclusively sansem ni na no ya boa no deba e wodumadi so na mame fantu wonim say Joy Cam Roofing Company Limited na waka cho say wasi wuda na wie dia na obomoden paadi wani a kire na wakwaje nchanse kama paadi aboso na bibia ye fine e dia ma na dia tie enso ne say omo nchanse na de bia meka che say nsuo to mframa efo awie bo enya de say che ko ba bia enya de say ewe na che enya de say afine so betu ni ade eye strong anka say nsuo to mframa efo awie bo aya Peter mpiunya bi ebeboa yepa ama bibia e fa dan de say e boso afebo nya de say etutu aje say dim fia pem kura de tia na tie eno aya Joy Cam Roofing Company Limited no omu ebo adwuma yepa omu branches ne do so techima omu ho Accra Sunya ne Bogatanga Tamale ni na omu aje say enya agrokura na mame fonto de say Kumase womo sokoban ampame opposite police station no over 0551 009000 0540 125816 frana o ma juice na bibia I fine ede amana Gengimed Dental Clinic go ana obombaden padu ani a kire ye ka Gengimed o mo de ye nimo mo se ba na sien udwumadi o mo na jese ya ju o matumpa anti wo se no menim de aye e bia tu o pese ye replacing mfam e be na kama padu ama afen obi wa ne se no chese e bia o pese o ye gold and as a silver crown wa no so ye be na kama pa e de ama wanya grokura o beza wo senior fita Gengimed Dental Clinic vonko a na betima na kama pa e de ama wo na omo de omo abotrema wo se no a chese udodo mo chese wo se no o ma chese ji wo matum a obi ajo matum sampa ba na sen wo dwumadi a omo de dimuntintiman obesiesie wo se na de ama kama o hawa wo nam kaka chese du anadwo wo ntimi na ni na no omo na di mfidie behwe ehu de ha opotiansa na omo e de adu aka no Gengimed Dental Clinic no omo ebo adwuma pa branches no do so Ghana ha na Kumase omo abrepo janje behind Total Filling Station Techima Magazine me pa chaw de tene se omo ewo Techima market kwano so ana fa Accra omo onungu Atomic Down Koforu de omo adjacent police station no ana fa Takra den so omo pipe no Tadisco Junction GM Bank wa ana omo adjacent omo bo adwuma ye pa ya from ewo 0559 139582 0559 139582 0549906588 fra na Gengimed for adjusna bibia aye kama pa edi amount na bomodi ansa odu eni be kire aye Diamond Scientific Research and Alternative Medicine Hospital na omatima hwa wo ma hwatima towo makachi osam video go nti ukwa anya de se okokan ya de video no ebo adwuma nkasa omudi no pia ba adwa so wom ana di donek heba me shaba na no de mema dro unya bi ebeboa wo bema wugya mu ntem bema wo bema entimi nyina so yie afa de tene se unya binum a boost immune system no enti ho ye den yare do mani udi ase ni na no de se utu ase kama pa na de tene se eboa wo ama wo brain ne function yie wo brain ni adwuma yie eboa mo mogya di afurisane ewo ni padua ne mu yie me ba twa de tene se mo adu anadwo a mo ntimi da kakra bi a na mo soro dwonso mo dwonso tentem wonya doneke ba me chene bia etu ase ngade ama wanya grokra o ma ba bia to bibidro bia no obetima nya bia to sanso ana de tene se kumase ya no kolina ku benya bia to Fredemens Mr. ba ne jese bia to bibidro bia obetimi anya bia to eya no 0246 727677 0249 208252 frana omo ajusina bibia ay kama pa at the amount mama mfonto anim say ya toothpaste no ene na brushes ne ya kan fo dem obia say uya abusunya na wonya bia ebeboa wo ne abusunya ye pa nam say wo use ya toothpaste no na wo de na brush no nso brush kama pa na awura udodom eyi normal wo do ehye wo ina na pie am wonum ayehwam na wo di nkoma ampa na afi na wo kwaka so musem eya nipa hia no mudi nkoma eya afe wo sesere na obetima afe wo sen na watimi so asere dia na ya toothpaste na brushes no na e be kamfo dia ma wanya grokra enkoda dia o mpanyifo dia o adantemfo dia o ajese unya bia beboa amwa busu na ni agiye panti ya toothpaste no na afe ya toothbrushes no na ya kamfo dia ma obia se unya bia ebeboa mo nu no etima ye hwame ye pana bibia no etimi so ai fine e dia ma time e ba me hia no e wo dwa so se aduro we na me di tu anim se eno de se malaria nkoa de ya eno na me kamfo de ma na me se time ba me sane de specifically for malaria how na nya binuma asie tu wonu ma to ntimi de ya wonu numbia ubedidi kama afedi atie se honam yo ya oposo ina no te ya wa eya no time ba me sane beboa ama sa ha ni na no afri so akọ time ejeje ba me sen capsules no nso ya kamfo de ma se aduro no Wua and Sadio private pass aboso afedi ateneze immune system support nti abebo amani paduano nwa den na etima konde atia yade wabia afe general well-being and esesie ni paduano amani paduano from kama abra wonte yade bia woni paduanum aje se bebo ye papa o man be bia to bibiduro bia no obenya time eba me hyene bi na afe time heba na afe time ejeje ba me hyene bia no na bibia no etimi so fine dem na bo no form ye pa aje se onya binum a ho betima to fine am watima sore waka ko onwa so 0244 4176 69 0244417669 frana ya juice na bibia aye fine ediama betway cash out of no ho na makajo se we no o betting slip no minim se de siwa na mom on se do baby na ogusu ewi nia unse betway phone ema cash out offer na sa offer we no betway cash out offer no wo mu kwa na dia ba obi anu obetima ye bidia ma wo ade se betway nko a na se betting slip no se ba ko na mienu bi ebetima disappoint wa bra wani na enu ntire du ba bia na betway phone no wo mam cash out offer se na be ya wo so kakra wudi twae no wo benya kakra to botom na bibia tima fa maka jose betway ni de wo betia no bet responsibly namze wonya 18 years a wontime mfa ho jem namze we no eye mpanyimfo agro betway ne yakamfo de maze wo betwa bet de ya ho na ese wo twa no wo place ya ntempa na wonsa kana kama pa na fe wo mo ka sha tofa no so boawo ama jese du baabi na wonya sure se wo bet ne kura no ebia wo betima de ntempa so na ka sha tofa na abani ntino ne wonya kakra de abo atazo a ebeboa ye pa ne bibia no etim so aye fine tisane city betway get way more brena son ye ba be kwam no ne latest ni na enso mngefira na eba enya grokra nti ye be kwam no ne sesia na ye the foreign news ama ye tifo enano pay live on Sompa TV, live on Sompa 93.1 FM, live on Sompa 93.1 FM on Facebook. Wo ye ba be kwam no ne yes. Subio ya kwa manani ya nano pe ni the foreign news ya sakana nano pe dia tuja de matefua amoso mga Sompa TV ya nano pe ana fe mu amutie radio no so ya Sompa na 3.1 FM ana fe mu amusha ya dese Facebook no enso mga Sompa na 3.1 FM on Facebook ana pe ye gusu tinko nyo so latest amanone sema esa un certificate ni nano ya dem ngane so bra ya tiefua ya nano pe ya shase ne ya shase enso mga the free UEFA Europa League nonza enso team awurama quarter finals de tie so ngane first leg in the games ado pinano ebetim so ngaba so na dwe mamenka se Rangers boboko no omo so ngane Athletic Club Bilbao game no ebetim atoja Olympic Lyonnais and Manchester United game no and ebetim so ngaba so Tottenham Hotspur ebo Eintracht Frankfurt na dwe and fe Sociedad Sportiva Lazio omo so no and Bodo Glimt game no ebetim so ngaba so ni na no ya bra no so obo na dwe and say UEFA Europa League no quarter finals there say first leg green ano eno so ngaba so anwu se seminar no ye de eno so e ma ye tiefo ena no pai enso ngo dwumade so anya grokura na mame mfonto anim say UEFA Europa League ma de say to do no say na big game baako a ba so nga game a Olympic Lyonnais omo ene Manchester United ade boni a enye game kuto akwana say game no na Ruben Amorim no manager de Manchester United boboko no ono so nga bi nkowo pi no de atude say wo game a omo ni Olympic Lyonnais ebo anana dwe no a big game a enye game kuto akwa yentie nsema Manchester United manager fans Ruben Amorim adituja.
If you see the full quote of Andrea Onana is quite different. The first sentence is Lyon is a very, very good team. So I think sometimes the players don't listen, or the coaches don't listen the full quote, and sometimes it's just a misunderstanding. And I know Matic also is a great guy. So tomorrow is going to be a normal game. It's really hard. It's really hard to deal with that, and that is for sure. And again, if you look to all the quotes, you cannot see disrespect there. Just respect, but trying to give confidence and to show confidence in his team, especially in this year, so everybody can talk bad things about Manchester United. Sometimes our group, as a player, as a coach, as a staff, has to show some confidence in our team. So I think that's all. I think if you see the full quote of Andrea Onana is quite different. The first sentence is Lyon is a very, very good team. So I think sometimes the players.
Yes, and one in some Manchester United manager friends Ruben Amorim ahead of home game and a Germany Olympic Lyonnais and I'm going to send somebody to the game. A bet some big game. There are two teams, especially Manchester United. Now, so you two pass Olympic Lyonnais team. Only a good team and an pay. You don't some gamma so much. Irano and Yakobus Manchester United goalkeeper. You find Andre Onana and Odi to the some game where a gamer and you can say you could Manchester Tanam say Olympic Lyonnais for almost my team ye for Manchester United kwana o metimi atwi dia form so no and Olympic Lyonnais player ye for Nemanja Matic akasa pedia fa sansama Andre Onana dia tuja no say na sem ke bia goalkeeper bi de say Peter Schmeichel bi and I can say Man United ya there Edison Olympic Lyonnais and Koni ni asem ananse bia Edwin van der Sebia na goalkeeper bi de say Andre Onana na mbode mbo from say there e ban sign o team beka asem no adefa Olympic Lyonnais we entie nsema Nemanja Matic ade atuja fa nsema Andre Onana ade tuja no.
You know, Onana, you know, I respect everyone, but to say that, then you need to get the answer. If you are one of the worst goalkeepers in Man United history, you need to take care what you are talking. You know, if David De Gea or Peter Schmeichel or Van der Sar say that, then I will question myself. But if you are one of the statistically the worst goalkeepers in Man United modern history, then you know he needs to show that before.
Yes, I know any summer Olympic Lode may feel the friends Nemanja Mati do to the Anano Paya don't want some mammo. I watch media Sonia Gokra. Now, Mammy Fun 2 and Emerson Senra, UEFA Champions League quarter finals and the first leg in a match in the bay, and some Nakos who were more Park de Paz or Anna Paris Saint Germain Tinefie, Asha Karabakoma Kobiansa, and some Namatima. Your friends are Aston Villa Kanabakun after the game, or reference Louis Rico manager. Adama Paris Saint Germain Dinkobopi at the far game Amusha 3-1 on the Sama Louis Enrique di Tuja after the game. Nanti nanka igusu ya Chelsea and Sabeka and somehow do a Louis Enrique di Tuja. Amusha 3-1 on the second leg no. Ebetu so not to go Villa Park or Ajasanya Grokra don't want to Pinano and some Nama Mojimedio Sua and Yagrokra Pachasa Yentia and some Louis Enrique at the Tuja.
The goal is the cherry on the cake, let's say. We've managed to achieve our goal, and now we have to play. I didn't exactly say that. I was answering a question, and I've been asked which match I would like this match to look like. But I think we've all seen a match that's a match that we were expecting against an opponent that had a pretty much closed up defense with good offensive opportunities on transitions especially. But on this match we've seen a little bit of everything, and we've been able to control the pace, and we've had opportunities to score. It's always difficult to attack such a defensive mid-lower block, but we've been pretty consistent.
Yes, I know any summer Paris Saint Germain manager na friends Louis Enrique di Tuja na no pa do want some mama wojumedino so na on last minute goal Nuno Mendes 90 plus 2 minute goal no, and also Paris Saint Germain manager friends Louis Enrique akasa fa yentie no.
Then the last minute goal is the cherry on the cake, let's say. We've managed to achieve our goal, and now we have to play this second match. But now it's starting pretty well.
Yes, I know any summer Paris Saint Germain manager na friends Louis Enrique Martinez Garcia Lucho di Tuja after the game, and I know pa doing some pinano and some nama wojumedi so anya grokra na the opposite number reference Unai Emery on the manager Adama Aston Villa Boboko no so after the game reference Unai Emery ekasa pientie ni sabne bia or di Tuja after Paris Saint Germain eshamu 3-1 and ra.
We were thinking for the next match, playing to win. And with 3-1, still being the same. We need win the next match. Not only for 1 goal, for 2. But we are here and enjoying. And I am very proud of the players and of everything we are in Aston Villa, how we are developing, doing with our increase in our demands and play here at PSG, and we compete fantastic. And we were close to get good results. At the end, with this goal, still more or less the same, because we will win the next week, I believe. Villa Park is our home. Hopefully we can feel there stronger. We can get there duels getting better than today, and as well collectively try to have our.
Yes, I know any summer Aston Villa manager friends Unai Emery di Tuja na no pa do want some mama wajide pass second leg abeko so enso no Villa Park ni na no ese omuso etimi bo moden na omotra hese bia ho ebetu so no qualify na se wajide pass achia mu no esla bebu ina de ho se bi na no enso mama wajide pass second leg abeko so Villa Park na Aston Villa team no ebetu so ngai do betimi bia na matim so over 10 ne first leg deficit na ana no pede sansam no enso ngama mo na owuram Montjuic ana football club Barcelona tena ya omo she kana makoma kwanan ama Borussia Dortmund team no omo antimati after the game Barcelona manager na friends answer Flick ekasa yentie no.
But also in some points we have to make it better. So I was not happy with the mistakes we make because it's what is that? No. With the mistakes I made because this is what they love. Dortmund is really a good team. When they get the ball and counter attacking, but we defend very well, and also especially in the second half. And I'm happy about the result and also with the.
Yes, I know in some football club Barcelona friends manager na friends and Flick the two day na pay ya do some ngama mo djuma die so ani na no enso nga dia bana mamin fontu anim sa ye guso Barca dia tie enso nga ne sa no asan go a Rafinha timi shade ma Barca no watim so nga ba the first ever player in the history of the UEFA Champions League watim so nga share more than 10 goals and ave watim so nga ya more than 5 assists ya do some pina no enso ngama mabi say that yebo UEFA Champions League na play bi etim so ngasha more than 10 goals na mpo no watim so no aya more than 5 assists ade tie enso ngane sabrantia ye fansa Rafinha and etim so ngasa ade na this season no on so watim so 12 goals and watim so ngasa 7 assists so no Adama Football Club Barcelona unse ano ya dem ngane so ba etie fo na no pai enso odwumade so ani na no enso ngade eba na mami fontu anim sembu no ya kan Brazil fo omatim so ngasi akan ewo UEFA Champions League nima omodin bo so ngati ma so ani epa de atia enso ngane sa de go involvement awo pa enso ngane Rafinha nya grokra nam se na previous na record no enso ngane kutowura ye fone sa Roberto Firmino the year 2017-2018 and otim so ngasha adesempo no adesena ni go involvement ewo UEFA Champions League nima no na 17 anya grokra ni 2017-18 and otim so ngaya sadia no ana for Ricardo Kaka no the year 2006-2007 season no Ricardo Kaka no na ni go ni assess no kaboma na 13 goal contribution and otim so ngaya na Rafinha this season kwa no adesa otim so no aye go involvement 19 and no pay ya do some namamo at the things were by the first ever Brazilian adesa pon ni go involvement no what so nadia kwa 19 and no pay ya do some pinano aso namamo dwende so adidu na no aso jire pass Rafinha no akwada Rafinha no bola obono adesa Rafinha Ballon d'Or no akwambia so gina ye se injury be amana se say ana Rafinha ngabetima bono bono dia Rafinha Ballon d'Or no adesa na sabetima ka no enso mna dia to dia na no pai ya do sam na mamo na mame Lami Yama so no etim so na yakoda we the youngest ever in the history of UEFA Champions League no etim so na bok adesa 20 Champions League enya sam kuto akọ play bia no a wono so nya 17 years watim so na ya sade obentia ye fansa Lami Yama no on so na no appearance o team make ya no watim so na make 20 UEFA Champions League appearances anya grokra no enso abrante fesa Lami Yama hono so ngade ewa ya nano pai ya do sama mamti adesa 17 years 270 days and abrante fesa Lami Yama what so ngaya sa record no etim so the youngest ever player in the history of UEFA Champions League what so make 20 appearances and se seminar no ya de eno so ma etifo no pai ewo dwumade so ni na no enso ngade eba na Lami Yama mami fontu anim sa nyankopon ya duma mete sa next season no na Barca jesi no maten no wo beti so ngahye ne mpono wo gina ntenta no enso nyede ma Barca nam sa wo mu jejire pass akoda na ye fane sa Ansu Fati nyankopon ya duma season ne bana wie ya likely sa Ansu Fati e beti so nga konti okwa ne jesi no maten no e beti so nga vacant likely sa Lami Yama na pe fono jire pass akoda no e braso sem Barca ɛyɛ ɔma iconic jersey number 10 no ɔmo so na de shakoda na ye fesa lame yama no ɛso ye de ba hun sesemina no ye de na no so ma etiefo na no pai ɛso adwuma de so ani na no ɛso na de eba na Federico Valverde ɛyɛ player wo sia kan ɛso na de ma Real Madrid boboko no wo de atuda sa na no a ɔmo tena ho pa ba Emirates wo ama Arsenal show mo trenela ɔmo so na antimatika ne ba kokora no wo se na ɛyɛ very bad week de ma Madrid boboko no nam sa ojire pass before Arsenal no ma trafie awo Santiago Bernabeu ama Valencia be show mo na tsa ara ho abra Valencia ko show mo 2-1 na ojide pass Monday team na bang say comeback a mo ya de pa na ojitum pass 3-0 la mo tena ama Arsenal for show mo ni na no wo mo de aye possible say nyankopon ya duma second leg be ko so awo Santiago Bernabeu no wo metim so na over tennis score line no ami ansama brantia o se academy Real Madrid defense Federico Valverde no ono so na dia to de na no pai ya de sansam no enso na ma modwuma de so ani na no enso dia eba na sama cha Arsenal for enso na che Madrid for no enso maka me enso man tibate de tie enso ne sa after the game metis Vinicius Junior Kylian Mbappe na fe Jude Bellingham anya brantia na ye fensa Federico Valverde no yes self for players wo mu shia na wo mu shia no mu di nkobo pe de mi nya na se nkomo mu di ya no wo mo se akwambia so esa wo mo che Arsenal team no enso na sha wo mo more than 3 goals wa wo metima making sure say sa goals wa no be sure no any kon say wo mo concede goal against Arsenal wo mo jide pass akwambia so no wo metim so na over tennis score line no and you latest say kan and no pay this answer no enso na mama no pay mama fun to this Liverpool team no wo mo go so and Virgil van Dijk and afa Mohamed Salah enso na di nkomo yepa na de me say kan se sia ne say nkomodi na durachire e likely say two players no enso na Mohamed Salah and afa Virgil van Dijk no wo metima say ne mpo wo ma to akoso sia kan enso na de ma Liverpool boboko na and no pay this answer no enso na mamo metese nkomo no enso na tima ko animu pa and likely say Mohamed Salah ebetim so na stay nam se Mo Salah no e wo jire pass kwambia so no e se records biaka enso no Liverpool boboko no ana fe Premier League ni mu ni ano e so no Mo Salah no enso na timi yantimeti sa Mohamed Salah ana fe Virgil van Dijk komi na no ebetim so na se ne mpo no o ma se kan na season e dia ma Liverpool boboko no enso na dia be na no pai ye di sansam na dia mamo e wo jumadi so nya grakura na mami fon to desa Kyle Walker aye player wo sia kan Edema AC Milan all known from Mutima ye fana say Manchester City and pay dia me second sesia ne say likely say Nyankopon ya duma summer transfer no ni bia Kyle Walker ebe free Man City bobo no konumako I say likely say no loan na obo edema AC Milan bobo kono obetimo so na permanent nempo say wantimi am permanent ni loan move no ewo AC Milan bobo konuma likely say boy no ebetimo so na dana di na baby fufu nam say enye likely say City boboko no ebeto akoso ne Kyle Walker enso na to so ya adwuma ena no pedi sansem no enso na ma mo adwumade so na Mohamed Abutrika on say no pundit e being sport wo na mamen fon to dwasa no Abraham Flick team my friend say yeah football club Barcelona no na mo bo goals e di good dot mo boboko na ten no eno no penye friends Mohamed Abutrika di to dwasa no sa nana na brewa kura ana osia kan adema sa Hans Flick tima eno so na basa system Hans Flick e bona kwambia so no obetim so na hye sa goals na Lewandowski e hyenam sa system no pania ye first Hans Flick e bono chese easy say we a striker de bia no obetim so na hye more goals adema basa ninti ana basa attack no omo hye goals zanani esema Mohamed Abutrika ono so na dia to de na na no pai ye de sansama de mamo enso no dwumade nso anya grokura na ye nya report on pesa Bruno Guimaraes o player de man Newcastle na teboboko no yes City for no jide pasa Bruno Guimaraes no adesa ne quality sekuta na obetimi so na replace Kevin De Bruyne na say omo jide pasa one ngura friends Bruno Guimaraes na say o Premier League experience anya grokura no wachi no o Brazil national team ma o san so na starter atomo jide pasa o chesa o player o mature do betuma gina Man City midfield no so atima bo adwuma ni adama Manchester City boboko na no enso na de to de na no pai ya de sansam no enso na de mo adwuma de so ni na no enso ya de ba egu so Man City wona no manu fan to the city Danny Reinders esi academy AC Milan team de atisa City boboko nsa kwambia so 6 million euro aye sika nyankopon ya duma sa sama transfer na ni bia o me kwa kwa se bia o mo se betima kasa we bia abante feza Danny Reinders no se bia mo se betima ka no so na be player had Manchester City boboko na no enso na bia ba metisa Arsenal boboko no ana for Liverpool na no yese ngomo ya give up e abante feza Alexander Isak ni di nem na mo se ngomo jire pass e ba di ye pass Newcastle team no e betim so ngaton Alexander Isak na mo se o so no ball Newcastle boni adia e likely say no betima qualify for the UEFA Champions League no na de ba kon Liverpool and Arsenal betima convince boy ye fans Alexander Isak ni na say e bia Newcastle team no e team so non qualify for Champions League next season no so mo team qualify dia bende say bia boy ne betima dane ne and so na dia fi Newcastle na te bo ko no makwa no and so dia to da hun sensem na no ye dem na no so ma tie funa no pe na latest amano no so bo no ina ne dia sia na abadwafo abam sa Prince Akwaba Bibi aboko
achira mponyankopa ada
ya ya ha amano ni sem
wabo ejuma FC Barcelona afenyi NS odidi kai one friend when dikai enye when your production to say high heated pa e bi say treble ne beba e bi so say na yanka treble asem obi anka so okoje treble but frankly speaking to be very emphatic about this, looking at how Barcelona this particular season omusi ball even when Barcelona loses you could clearly feel and see some kind of near maybe during the game ubetimi agina so they akase if they improve upon it the next game is going to be far better. And we saw them losing against Leganes or Sasuna, and in those games ubetimi when they clearly say because of selectional issues the coach wanted to rotate some of the players. He wanted to rotate some of the players and it was too early at that time. And some games we won Barcelona lose here. And clearly there were some games so I know Philly say injuries kakra. And even game or clearly you see say this a Barcelona sider or a proper football. This particular season, I don't want to talk much, but Barcelona is the team. Ojina Parks you clearly feel that this is a team playing. This is a well-rehearsed team, a team that plays with a proper chemistry. Let's look at something here. For video now, the perfect team chemistry with Barcelona. The perfect now.
What is team chemistry?
Yes, personal You see, there are teams in Europe right now or more better individual qualities than Barcelona.
Teams
and
like...
a typical example is their biggest rivalry, Bobuko from Real Madrid. Looking at the goalkeeping side to the attacking side, clearly Ube feel say there are some players in the Barcelona team who make our names, but over Madrid they are more because even our Madrid goalkeeping no crown Ubo Tibo Courtois hand in hand on the Marc-Andre ter Stegen, and even some people will rate Thibaut Courtois ahead of Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Those ter Stegen, no, but I'm trying to single out the individual players. If you mention Antonio Rudiger, there is no player in the back line for Barcelona right now. The name Obo Rudiger, the kind of bell ring among foot no Barcelona player bien who will be. Listen, not about the form. I'm talking about the name these players have made. If you mention Rudiger didn't was also see Inigo Martinez, Paul Kubasi, Julius Kunde, Alejandro Balde. Even on the bench, Eric Garcia, Andres Christensen, they didn't was also see him. You come to the midfield. They have a French international or no ball number 6. Orelem Tchouameni. He's not living up to the billing, but Tchouameni and Camavinga right now, those players almost go deep. They are not living up to the billing, and they have a certain Jude Bellingham. This is a player last season. He was competing for the Ballon d'Or. They have Vinicius Jr., a player that everyone thought, and I said most of the people thought, as what the Ballon d'Or. But and they brought in another one. A Ballon d'Or potential, and they say for Kylian Mbappe, Waje World Cup, and we've seen his exploit at the biggest of stages. Into Madrid war, that kind of individual names, no. And they say Barcelona be but Barcelona team is more of a sort like Papa friend Hansi Flick. And my boy is not that kind of self-belief, and they right now they trust in each other. It's Waje no walk anymore. The first thing in a bad team is not about to get a goal for my own self. Or better thinking about getting the goal. I'm on one who abra or better the left and right. No one who said there is no other option for him. But if Barcelona attack, that's what player no kuta ball attacking. Onye who say there is a player who free than me. I'll bet me or in a good space. Or bet me the ball not to neta. The players or the attackers of Barcelona, they try to look for each other. Obe job on that was simple. Now my video no was natural. This is Rafinha, a player this season all contested for the Ballon d'Or. I'm just making this statement. Obi when Obi Abu for me say me use Vinicius as an example. Pass no the man Lewandowski. It could have ended personal. It could have ended in a goal. But if it was to be Kylian Mbappe or Vinicius Jr., just think about it. What would have been the decision and Kombe try to go for the goal themselves? But Barcelona the end now this is Rafinha ego no and the only thing I not about him in the game now man for any because this is a goaler Paul Kubasi be himself born out on it na Rafinha den hoka e kakra bi so oya offside. But let's not forget Rafinha is chasing something. The goal contribution obenya in this particular scene say koya obetimi breaki Messi ade a oya de ato no my video no to aso obetimi breaki sade so sometimes pardon kaka, and even with that no in the heat of the action into where Rafinha D in the heat of the action ball neighbor no kwan baby ogina no hu de ode no ho aka ball no it was later no hu say Paul Kubasi na de no ho aka ball no ogina defenders nechi enti no you give him the benefit of that. Now look at this one 8v8 when Barcelona are defending they have numbers, when they are attacking they have numbers. 8 versus 8 against Dortmund when they were attacking for the second goal. It is where always they have that mentality. We have the freedom to go for it and also to look for each other. Now, Shadebi, this is the perfect team chemistry. Look at the kind of space that they need. But at the end, look for a player who is in a much more better position than me. And Barcelona goes, look at the last goal of Amache. Rafinha and the ball neighbor. There was a lot, one defender. Last goal in some uncle the Chica Krabi. It was only one defender up against Barcelona, 3 attackers. Say drew on Mabun, one defender up against Barcelona, 3 attackers. But Rafinha didn't think about going for the solo goal. Look at this, one defender up against 3 attackers. Rafinha le ball not one because so say Lami Ama and he's in a better position than him. And this is the perfect chemistry we've been talking about Barcelona. Individual names there untimi can be brave. But yet their proper team or Mujina Park no you could clearly feel that they know what they are about. Defensively, even look at Papa friend Voja says not to say he was a bad goalkeeper because we saw him at Juventus. He was a very good goalkeeper, not an extraordinary goalkeeper. He was a good goalkeeper. But about Barcelona, let's not forget to Jai Ball continue a few. Yeah. Barcelona brought him back. Look at the performance of them. It doesn't even seem like a goalkeeper and as a player not all retired. So the perfect chemistry and the team bonding, after Biogina Park no subia. Fermin Lopez never know about and Daniel wasn't there. But look at the kind of game of Fermin Lopez demai. So frankly speaking, Barcelona is the most entertaining team this particular season in terms of defending. Almost say absolutely make us say a packed one. They have that kind of resilience at the back. in the midfield, they have the proper creators, the ones that can control the game at any point in time, create for the attackers to score, and also transit the game. And when you talk of the attackers, Lamine Yamal, how many goal contribution were you? Lewandowski, Rafinha, Femi Lopez with bench, but not the Beckham, Gavi DB Kahon, Daniel DB Kahon. So they have a perfect and a well-balanced team. And this is all counts.
Any weakness behind this Barca team?
I don't actually see one. Look, there are weaknesses in everything, especially so I have Barcelona on now. Sometimes some team bo game say opponent try so by attack Barcelona be do be a omo fambo kakra. But that alone doesn't mean say Barcelona that is a bigger weakness among with me exploit on, because we've seen them come up against Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, the bigger teams but they are not able to surpass them.
Okay.
So frankly speaking, I feel Barcelona, to add it on top, now Apostle Meka Barcelona on course to win the treble, and it is possible they can do it. Now the probability rate, say 100%. I made me accept right now. Barcelona will 90% chance of winning the treble. La Liga beat me the Copa del Rey. This game Barcelona and Madrid, clearly you feel say this particular season is quite Barcelona and they in the
but that easy because
and that easy.
Yeah.
But looking at what they are doing now,
absolutely,
you can project into the future and see say the better team
because so on bet mark Champions League final go en route to the final. On bet Inter.
Yes, they can do it.
And a Copa del Rey on a Madrid finals.
Yet they can do it.
And a La Liga and
projection. Yeah, this is the projection that I'm making.
So,
and there's one particular player, Vitinha. Come on, we need to get time and talk about this boy. Enra, the game that they played against Aston Villa, he had over 140 touches as a midfielder, and he was the engine. Look, this particular season, Bokiewicz, Abaso, Dembele, Abaso, the Zeri do. You talk of Bradley Bacola and on what you want so I have William Pachu Etimia bonded very well with Abrante friend Marquinhos, but in the midfield, Vitinha in the midfield also a very diminutive. Some time ago, Anka Vitinha and common man a chances be brace. I say in the olden days, now most of the times, only extraordinary player, now diminutive kakra teams in Shadam foul. It nearly even happened to Messi. Let's not forget that. But this modern day era, and they look at the talent you have, and this Vitinha guy, one exceptional player. That Edema Pedri Bellingham. Now I feel say this kind of same hype. Let's say because boy but because he's playing for Paris Saint-Germain, and in the national team Portugal, no, that kind of hype. And I say Dean because whenever he goes there, there's a certain Bruno Fernandes, Bernardo Silva, Cristiano Ronaldo, Honoma. They outshine him. But frankly speaking, Obia Wenya Botra, I heard this Vitinha guy. Believe you me, he knows how to do everything like a Marco Verratti type. On him tackle. And yet a good tackler, but he's that kind of energetic. I would go into tackles. All right. With me transit or a good passer of the ball also. And I love the way this Vitinha guy is. And that's the little on this one. But I think and the games
Prince. My mark can't so no. My mark can't no more about Juma. Can't you not drink water near come for them will be as only been my babu. My catch was a normal shame so no mano. And a boy says in the Peduani pa visit Sony and Supapa, only big fear offices in just hospitals are baby a babuapa. Now be a yatum onoma, would see me good for manifu. And our color for ye pa just say, Anya grokra, Nadia Tinza, hydrogen, I rich womb, minerals with a calcium, magnesium, potassium, any iron in Ashimuma just say, Anya agrokra not, your Brahma UGC. I'm Tafur New Road, so Abawa Road Junction. For 0241449191, 0241449191, 0507379471. Ofrani Ajus BBI fine 0507379474. Ofra Pena Kanjim paying for Ajus BBI. I fine. Philip Akwaba. BBI fine. Okay, young Hammond on 12 minutes.
Yes, Prince, I come and about Team FC Barcelona, and I was in love with their style of play against Team Borussia Dortmund. But clearly, no, I will never shy away from my words. My favorite for this year's Champions League is Paris Saint-Germain.
Why?
I'm not for doubts about Paris Saint-Germain. Currently, Martino, I am a personal analysis of all the teams at this stage. And one team I find it very difficult to see weakness at Paris Saint-Germain. Me who the weakness in the Paris Saint-Germain team. From the goalkeeping department, goalkeeper number 1, and in the backup. The right back and in the backup, the left back and in the backup, center back pair. And Raul him said they were missing Marquinhos, the captain. And there was no Marquinhos, but no Marquinhos, no problem. And right in the absence of Marquinhos, there was Lucas Beraldo, the boy from Brazil. No boy at center back or deputizer for Marquinhos, and our partner William Pacho. And William Pacho is a steal. The boy from Ecuador, he is a steal. He's born William Pacho for Paris Saint-Germain. And the price tag is kind of return on William Pacho is a steal for Team Paris Saint-Germain. He has fitted in the system very well. Now in the Paris Saint-Germain midfield, over Fabien Ruiz, Vitinha, and Ruben Neves, you for credits normal Luis Enrique. Luis Enrique, you see in this life, sometimes a bit true as a win and you win him direction with which you are driving at. Coach friend Luis Enrique, one of the worst moments was taking the Spanish national team to the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. And after so bow out on what's now why analysis, it will say he made a wholesome mistakes in some players be or pick more for the for places at the World Cup in Qatar. And this time around, he's come out as a better manager. Sisiano said when Paris Saint-Germain is playing, you could see the handiwork of this manager, friend Luis Enrique. And Luis Enrique has recharged most of the players. Probably we thought said they were ordinary or batteries. And then some of these players are on the verge of becoming superstars. Martina Fier Aka constantly. So Ousmane Dembele was some other player. The potential was very huge from Rene to Dortmund. The potential was very huge. But then Oko Barcelona, no, he was static. Baby no, he never improves. Like your foul said Brabe replacing Neymar. But then no, it looks like he didn't live up to the hype. Ousmane Dembele from Dortmund to Barcelona, he was static. One couldn't him pay. But at Paris Saint-Germain, even Paris Saint-Germain, it is this season not one of the best of football. I constantly put him in the bracket of Lamine Yamal, Kylian Mbappe this season for the Ballon d'Or, and Rafinha for the Ballon d'Or. He's playing the best of football this season for Team Paris Saint-Germain, all because of good coaching and management style from Luis Enrique. Now, aside everything, look at the eye with which Omo are making additions. Almost signing João Neves. João Neves was one of the promising talents from the Liga NOS in Portugal. And when he joined Paris Saint-Germain, they say, he has added bite to the Paris Saint-Germain midfield. And they say, Vitinha. Prince was talking tough for Vitinha. Now, somebody like João Neves. Omo short, omo. And one thing, omo advantage, and they say, omo low center of gravity. Into omo krabo na sa wo jebo na fini nsemu a. This all foul answer. Two players no crap the Oholdi the midfield for Paris Saint-Germain. Omo your ball playing midfielders. No mo say what player or say what good field vision in Fabien Ruiz. No making up the trio in midfield. Now in attack, they don't rely on a number 9. And omo attacking trainer obi out to Michel. Before the start of the season, player no Ogini Dimpa a post Mbappe, boy friend Bradley Bacola. But it looks like Luis Enrique is settling with Desire Doué, Vichak Varaskelia, and Ousmane Dembele. Now, guess what? Without number 9, no problem. The reliable number 9 in the team, brother friend Gonzalo Ramos. But Gonzalo Ramos, you cannot rely on Gonzalo Ramos with this system. That is when the going gets tough. Because there are a lot of tournaments at Paris Saint-Germain able. Almost about the Trophée des Champions. Coupe de France, and again almost about the Ligue 1 and the Champions League in Europe. And you have to definitely give those French players in the time. So it is in the Coupe de France, nobody will say Gonzalo Ramos, but at the grandest of stage in the Champions League, constantly you will rely on Ousmane Dembele as a false number 9, flanked by Desire Doué and Vicha Varaskelia. That is the team Paris Saint-Germain. And then for the goalkeeping department, number 1 for the Italian national team, Gianluigi Donnarumma. What is the weakness of Donnarumma? Sometimes, the ball reading, any weakness, but he is very commanding. When lose Champions League in 2022 semi-final to Real Madrid. No, one of the weakness was that now on command because the egos he was playing with, no, now the egos were too big for him because that time now who to any show anymore play original way Marquinhos ni ego no was French and Donnarumma until you can't command Donnarumma.
Marquinhos then why onyaza egos no.
Marquinhos is Marquinhos is the captain of the Brazil national team. And you are talking about Brazil, the primus inter pares of world football. They are the best in the game. Brazil, who for Brano Marbo, who for history, tradition, and culture. It is Brazil. And he is the captain of the Brazil national team. Hey, what to any show when you are? Or Diogino when you know you're captain of the Brazil national team. Can you shout at him?
Until we are captain my Brazil national team.
There are certain things
and shout at you.
No, there are certain things, sir. And you've been a back catcher.
Because we're captain of
captain of the Brazil national team. Because of the country no FIBA. And look at football. Football is Brazil. And apart from that, at that moment, he had Milan Skriniar coming from a top teams like Inter Milan. He had Milan Skriniar. Only that Milan Skriniar didn't fit the system of Luis Enrique. And no problem no. But now one player person make can one sempa. Hey, Brent friend desire do. When him say Ivory Coast, I can about 78 languages in Ivory Coast. Now Ghana for a Ivory Coast no. Your language a friend anyi. Anyi eye nzama ene wofa bono in hafwa. Ye na your talk Ivory Coast no. Our language is anyi. Into say Ivory Coast na say what's nzama, what is seshikasa, and what's brosa, and any of the languages are a part of Western region now. Too many anyi for naka because the language is similar. But then this boy desire die ninchi efisenufo in Ivory Coast. No papa no no Ivorian. And the father is an Ivorian, the mother is a French. And you one city a friend Angers. And on English for normally you're born Angers. Angers, that is where this guy was born. Now, Oko Angers, where he was born now, it is one area bia a tough favor year blacks in France. Who said there are places in the world that we be beginning to mention now. For instance, Oko US of A. One place I got for Tatsnapa in Maryland because of the weather. Oko US of A. Maybe I got for Tatsnapa in Maryland because of the weather. Georgia, Atlanta because of the weather. But then there are places that you dare not venture. It may take you time before you adapt to the weather. One of the areas in France are adapt easily. Angers. Northeastern part of France. And one year Brent your friend Desire Die. And Desire Die, fortunately for him, you now see footballers. The three brothers in now, footballers. Now, what for the three brothers now? Gela Die, about Strasbourg in France. Now, Marc Olivier Die, about Ponferragina in Spain. Now, Jean Boho, about Toulouse in France. And again, that is the three brothers are make no. This is Gela Die and Marc Olivier Die for Ponferradina and a young Boho on also Toulouse. But guess what? This season, boy, in an interview, Eddie Nkomobi said, and the players I what form we see the news person or yet so Neymar and Lionel Messi. And you cannot take anything away from this Desire Die. Okay. And Desire Die, where Mimi Gini Die pa just recently the Nations Cup game between France and Croatia. The moon said the boy has come of age. Take nothing away from him. I dreamed that any trim I said so chain the agent. Onimbornable. So Crabor now Obeji born and just foul. And one or some or you versatile or to me go across the front three. And so obed deep swar because I'm very good with a ball. Bono or a good with a ball. Before Beji finish him, you have to foul him. And bring opponents into play. Okay. And Bruno Genesio, one of the coaches, our coaching at René say this boy is the future of the French national team. Sometimes, you better Kylian Mbappe, you better Antoine Griezmann, you better players because of superstardom. Any baby move free by any clubs from our bands, we won't talk much about Desire Die. Okay. But I won't hear Desire Die. Sanko and go no share against Emiliano Martinez. After the game, Emiliano Martinez say, "What dream one how this boy got the goal?" Kamesa Sanka runs for video no to so kakra mami. How this boy desire die onya sa goal, that crucial goal, the equalizer. Aston Villa got the first goal through Morgan Rogers. Just 4 minutes later, it was Desire Die who got the equalizer for Paris.
Philip Kwabena Nkumza opani me da sepa apostle akwabo. Opani bajo ho ye de.
I don't know coming here. Now quick one Philip. So a goalkeeper no in question. So I'm talking about the issue about Donnarumma. The issue about Donnarumma and Marquinhos. A goalkeeper no one, the character, two, the confidence and experience level. Remember a typical example. Ajimendria, Miyamadamfo, Jingo, 1993, played for Asani Zamalek CAF Champions League for Zamalek. 1997, played Raja Casablanca against Coalfields. 2000, Sami Eje was commanding him easy. Because you see, the reason why you're a goalkeeper, you have to do that. And I say, one, yes, I will know the last person. Bonia players here, especially different. And I saw what command and control over your back four. Yes, I do make mistakes. And no mistakes, I also make considerable. So even though Ajimandri about that was the 2000 was the third Champions League he was playing final. That's not an easy one. Sami Eje was the first one. Sami controlled him easily because to Sami Eje, naturally that's how Sami Eje. To Sami Eje, he must make sure that Obia is in line the way he wanted. Sinabia. And to shout, most set pieces he will make sure or shout to jingle on Jinayi Tete on your way. So it is because Donnarumma at that time when he came into the team, because the players in the team only confidence about them. So keep a ball and 4 but work captain. Who on anima or Ben Bekishos why he doesn't care.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. That's not what I was even going to do. Now, second one, who can Abu Trika? Or see or Sebio Abu Trika, Mohamed Abu Trika say. So Obas I'll share those goals. Yes, he would have scored those goals, yes. Or you're one of the most talented attacking midfielder, central midfielder, your typical number 10 and number 9. He plays all. And a good winger. Brilliant player. That's him. Maza, this player. Look, he is one of the fine. And when Hospes said, that was after the 2008, 2005, 2006 Champions League back-to-back against CS Fasien, against Etoile du Sahel. Then 2007, almost lose it to Etoile du Sahel. Then 2008, Oko winning against Cotton Sport Garouan. After that, Tottenham was paying 50 million pounds. He didn't go.
At that time,
he didn't go.
50 million pounds.
He's a top quality. Niaya make a trade where no chrome here and shed and doors. And an alley no but no yesikapa. And your name here so on coverage. That is why Sam Galimuti Miko bomb this but no basa ball Ali. Ameda Santimiko ball Sebu or Timiko ball Andalek. No Sam ball Ali. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes. That is what this Egyptian. He was an exceptional player. Brilliant, talented, great player. The national team winning Cup of Nations 2006-2008 scored 38 goals for national team. Brilliant. So I'm saying if Hospes could make an offer of 50 million pounds at that time to the player, it tells you how quality he is. He's very good. But no. Sebiu, enya dia or Pabruchi Biako. Egyptian players Angasadi. I mean, they don't really or travel crowd corner and go, back to the big club, the biggest club in Egypt. Ali no Kakra. So Neo Canadian no Sebiu one kobo in the La Liga, now one kobo EPL. So, but trust me, if he decided to move, he would have been a great or a top technician. His positional sense, his instinctiveness, his movement, and the conversion rate is top class. So sometimes choices and decisions of life, and Emma will be anchor baby, but ubu or call baby a baby or no bawa or be ya dear times 10 channel. Ebiana personal decision tia, Ebin's one and same being tia no uncle. So Abu Trika, trust me. Now chance of creative, ni I ain't creating a year crochet. Now they are creating a year. So I mean, let's give it as a top player. And now Paris every Jumano against MC Oja. But the point is that, listen, Pirates, Coach Jose Rivera, Oya Diapa. Wachre se ball no a results. And yet, Sebi, so be ball no ni feso. And he's a Spanish coach you typically expect a beautiful flambo. Yes, some of the games are cost or South African League. No beautiful. Niobe timi onobo. We know near here na say obe make sure say we qualified to the semi-finals of the CAF Champions League. And he did that very well yesterday. Defender, look, they were not even attacking on 36% possession. Near here na say yenya bona quickly on Tabate and Lat or Onomo, Macaulay, Macaucha, they are there. Mofoken, they are there to make sure they close down narrow spaces and one and at the end of the day, he's able to qualify against former champion 1976 MC Orges. This team stopped. They have the Great Hafia Club of Guinea. Because Hafia then won 75, so they were going to do a 76, and this team stopped. MC Orges stopped them. So a fantastic work by Jose Rivera, who shared the fact that Sundowns still in the leading league. You know, even though I'm standing match, I'm to me within they will give Sundowns a good run for their money. But performance, I'm Dedi beating Ali 2-1 away. Beating MC Orges away, drawing here, the performance is better than performance that Sundowns are putting up so far in the Champions League. They've displayed excellent because they are tough opponents to play against. So, a good performance for him. Now, Zamalek, Stellenbosch, once again, still back. The coach has done great work. Jumano coach no ye ne Juma ye papa. Jumano defends so well, very tight. Safedin Jezuri, and run out sniffy go. Nasser Meha, Esnifi, they were sniffy go. Mustafa Shalabi, Esniffy go. Zamalek call all out, but at the end of the day, the coach made sure that Thabo Slowani, excellent work as a centre back and a leader there, did a great job. The young gentleman that scored a goal, Sili Induli, brilliant DM job. Thabo Kiba, excellent work in midfield there. They work. Janino Palace, brilliant work. Devin Titus. They work without the ball. They are closing down, making sure, say, Zamalek, at the end of the day, they shock. If that's even the shock, because Zamalek are the defending champions of the Confederation Cup. And now, to go to Cairo, Akoshomo, that's a great performance. And for me, I give it to the coach for the tactics and approach. Brilliant performance from Zamalek. Yes, Simba. Because I said Simba against Elmas Rebecca, I said, Simba, one of the things about Simba is that almost create chances then so much. And rana we can park no so na Prince Ban or Kana boss na park ninyana account. In fact, the first leg El Masri should have scored more than that. But first leg no criminal say conversion cause why I say Simba na share at least 3 or 4 goals. Normal we say El Masri no almost the ball no too firm almost ball kama. Enti say ye din siogu park no so kakra enya boni mredudu obe se na be mbe share ball na sia se be ebe mini any bibia, but they were not worried about that. They made sure so disadvantage El Masri for no se na be a ball no omo be peja mu omo putting ball no fam ni nyina aka agro no ni nyina aka a competitive advantage. They were able to do very well. I mean, brilliant goal by Ellison Panzu and then Stephen Mokwela. Once again, when team keep player, you go to a quality side like this that will keep him and be playing very well for them.
Yeah.
Since Ofri Kotoko, they got into the Confederation Cup semi-finals. Mm-hmm. No. So it was a good decision. Mm. Now, brilliant performance from them. Now, once again, the penalty shootout, again, this against an Egyptian side of Africa, one of the clubs, continent, I was country, I mean, teams that year, they penalty shootout. One, Egypt and Algeria. But I know, a trese the coach na ye juma say and found ye basi open play penalty shootout to get it, and then the penalty shootout Stephen Mokwela, and he converted he converted it so well. Dennis Kibu converting it, you know, simple cry. I mean, you have a situation where after Shomari Kapembe share Nidia no in just say come Mokwela, the unity in the team strong, brilliant performance from the Oma qualify 4-1 in terms of penalty shootout. They've done very well. And now, Karade Madoui, I had a coach for CS Constantine. Now, on any day, CN Constantine against USM or just a mismatch. But once again, the coach behind it. Brilliant goal that was scored by Adam Alile, the penalty converted very well for USM Orgers. Brilliant performance by him and Kevin Modenko in the first 45 minutes. And then also the equalizer, also a brilliant performance from Abdenu Helsini. Nemum, near Mobona say, Adam Alilat, our share penalty, no, our game no mono. A better penalty shootout, no, or no come see here. But the coach I'm talking about is the coach Karadi Madui, who led ES Eten Setif 2014 against Vita Club. Tactically, or one of the best coaches. On Shada, flamboyant. Tactically, he's good. And he was the master yesterday. When he was defending, so immediately, almost share goal, he decided say, he would then play expansive a bit, but with caution. At the end of the day, that has led him to qualify for the next stage of the competition. Don't forget, the USM Orgers 2 years ago were the champions against Yanga. And they have solid side. But unfortunately, the coach, and like Stellenbosch, the back iron, is the same thing the coach has done. Coach, actually say, do near idea, you need intelligence. And he's done that, they've qualified. So great work for the meter.
3 minutes.
Now, Maminka Assembly, RS Bekane has also called Osama Lamlui, brilliant goal. RS Bekane 2 times oldest of the come. So semi-final very interesting. You are having CS Constantine, Omuye underdogs on Rim. You also have a situation Stellenbosch underdogs on Mobile. It's going to be very, very interesting. How far can these two teams now go? Don't forget, CS Constantine and Stellenbosch, where you historic, Omunduhada. And a history Kesiama the two clubs to have come this far. How far or further Ombetimiako another matter. Now, Novak Djokovic. Maka 2 years ago said I saw retire last year, one retired. Just like I said about Roger Federer, one retire Ogun. He will continue to disgrace himself until he stops by retiring. 37 years. Tennis yet baby anebo. Ubebia every split second ubebia no the tennis. He's 37 years. He's aging. He's not quick. Tennis is one of the sports that here quickness, good reflex, great movement, intelligence. Because your ball back can you moving 400, you are moving. Rallies to the base now. Kobasa. Ceciano. Where Monte Carlo again Alejandro Tobilo. And yet the 6-3, 6-4 is or no. And yet until no one can say I am the worst performer. And yet poor say Novak Djokovic our best returner of serve over the last 20 years in the history of tennis. He continues returning serve. That he's broken twice our first set. That is not Novak Djokovic. But Emre Biano Bibi Osha say Bia every year. And so Emre America say Emre way the Emre no aso say send me bow out in respect. Unfortunately for him, he's not bowing out in respect. Here, if you watch the game, Sebiu, on a Janku mentioned a boy na our pem ni 100 title aqua. Near maybe a SEC mistakes be he wouldn't have done, but at 2 stage be a Sebiu onya yanka 100 title no wenya onya yanka wakwa konya. There's a Grand Slam Roland Garros at Basel French Open, but there'll be Rome Masters, any Madrid Masters before we get there. Onya yanka 25, I had the first ever player to do that. But body no, does he correspond with Sebiu with demands or expectation? And I think that he has to this year say on baby okika say marita and I say also on Sebiu on into on young kwenya on need the needed energy to play too many matches. So I saw reducing, so me concentrate on few games before Grand Slam and needs to focus on that. Anything short of that, he will embarrass. Look, this boy at Rome last year, Etran 6-2, 6-3. And so clearly, and Novak said, "Be a Kolan Trano twice." But we knew a young man. So what worry?
Yeah.
Oh, for instance, do 40. Who do 40, 45 matches then you might sort this. Because energy level, often because of the way our fires are produce our level. Yes. Well, do stage be I saw who said Niamano Egu and told that is a man contest. Oh, me a prince or a young. we are prince. We show you now collapse. Because at that time, energy levels and yet to say when you were 20 years ago. So at every point in time, I saw to me say, baby, I made read here. I said me say goodbye. What I say?
Yeah.
And this year we are young, you don't bet me. But age and I make an do by sort this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Every 40 days gone.
45, yeah.
45, okay.
Yeah, you have to be very careful. You need your strength to live for the rest of your life. Okay, Jawa we swa. Sebi be wako no ba no ti obi abefa no. Something American.
Yeah.
So please be minded. Those of you young guys who think everything is about sex, it's full. You are fooling yourself. So please, why so manage it?
Okay. About me that's it. Douglas Cross, I say good morning. Keep up the good work. Star Boys watching the show live and clear at Hafumem Airport. Sompa FM Sports News says congrats to Barcelona for their massive victory yesterday. Greetings to Yasma, Kwajo Space, Yaomem, and my lovely father. No joke. Okay, fan for Douglas more fire. Good day, my guy. Okay. BDK says some passports. You are the best sports station in Ghana. Watching live from Navrongo. Okay. I'll say Unana Casadodo. And for Douglas, and I Jenim Giovanni said today, dear God, let your blessings come down. Minim the opportunity, say be a man you gave me dear. Crespo from Fufu, kudos to Barcelona for demolishing Borussia Dortmund yesterday. The treble is still on course. Greetings to Ouswa Boaji is the okay. Ouswa Anzajo is the okay. Nitri now can anodi. Mze did the attempt watch Mintiminka. Okay. So messages in the banner about where's Barcelona this season is thinking of going all out for glories and then think of who to project for the Ballon d'Or. Okay, New Year. Mfam for Douglas message no nti yenyina so ne comrade but we see the future of the French national team is just maffort and her attacking prowess is fire. Okay, yeah, that's it. Yeah, nti comrade ya ba Orlando betna se no de fise ma boabo no e de aba nti ya ba sesi a ye nchekura ba Orlando betna se na o de fise na ba ya ba sesi a ye nchekura.
There's nothing worse than your multi-bet missing. But nothing better than having it saved. Bet Saver. Here's Kwame and Yao. After saved, Bet Saver. Win, even if your bet misses.
If I shop, I'm sure you'll bag.
Brad, and not so good.
Now tell me about Michelle and see about Queen. Why me say?
Bra, said your time about Mister. It's your Jimmy me fearful. And you're about ever so.
Really, no, this is offending now.
Bra, so me cousin me the time about Mister Juan Dancia. We are singing now about Timinka. It is some malaria. What run the time about Mister?
And you know, dear, no more to want to me any deal. What run the time about Mister? A drink and your ma or bar waffle through. Dear, what ma for down for any aquada when you fear do me, and son of the time about Mr. Draven. Shasa Wako Hospital and answer lab. I'm what who said, oh, a 3-day malaria be answer.
Kayo said time near TIME. Time about Mister. I feel malaria fever be than is Ziba a woman. Never trap. Ubenya be at all, over the counter medicine sellers. Any herbal shop to do a name. FDA AG a dreading crotway at home.
Abusaka Krakabi will have made out from Nara, who said, woman said, about Flaketua 1 year, 2 years, Akadaba. It's the African Spider-Man, Blabe about Flaketua him one any power here. Then the bill cost for Nuti coming when you go ready, won't be. African Spider-Man, the Baby say what of fly, but preoccuping who's African dance, what Baby say what of now with secret plano, anything. Imboost herbal mixture and only me secret.
Now me yet to know how to form. And a police me do one dance and say, many names sunshine. Namisoeno, a boosting immune system. I'm a semi trainer mentebre. Meet me the come on. I'm on with mom so across your class so metaya yale. I'm a my lattice latitude, me yabaco. And yet, Nakoso. Hey, Spider-Man, what a quiet. I'm a cratching.
Ubenya Imbus Herbal Mixture, our pharmacy, and answer herbal shops. A pin for any Nkola Umundi if you do me, Enom, FDA, Adjugate Tatwe at.
If you want better future, join Ghana Grows, cause our grit be the future. Join Ghana Grows, this be one for the culture. Join Ghana Grows, cause it's you might for Ghana. Join Ghana Grows, Ghana Grows.
Kuya yomu hekwanya ubefaso nya adwuma ana ati adwuma ku a mfaso woso ewo kuya adwuma mu ene ATVet mu enne ya so anamonne fast sanwo wabusua ene wo mpatemu asetenemu bo star 718*50# na beka ho sesia Ghana Grows Top Day Ghana Grows Jumedie Mastercard Foundation ni Springboard Roadshow Foundation Limehouse ni wabuafo na Debro
Mamenhye time HH Herbal Mr. Bi na wonumi ene wa tadropa eyadro se emani padua nkwamwa no enya hoden na akotia yare entwen yare ansan wakwakoto fire wadro na nom no abribia Kanoga Company Limited what the time TIME ebedwaso no wono a ene the time HH Herbal Mixture edia bedwaso akora wonyanya mfirisia dumienu enum bi wo pemfo ene oba wo ma akora nufuo enso enum bi time HH Herbal Mixture ubenya bi
over the counter medicine sellers any shop dodo na mu
so pedudo to afre 0244 417669 0244 417669 time HH Herbal Mixture eyadro say FDA agye edwadie nkratoe atum.
Rise and shine with Yas toothpaste and Yas toothbrush. Start today off right by grabbing your Yas toothbrush and squeeze a refreshing dab of Yas toothpaste on it. With its soft bristles, the Yas toothbrush gently cleans your teeth and gums, giving you a comfortable brushing experience. As you brush, feel the powerful formula of Yas toothpaste working its magic, removing every stain in the cavity and leaving your teeth sparkling and fresh. Plus, Yas toothpaste helps make your teeth whiter and protect your gums, keeping them healthy and strong. Choose from our 3 variant toothpaste: Total Care, Herbal, and Wined. Make Yas toothpaste and Yas toothbrush a part of your morning routine and start your day with a confident smile. Yas toothpaste and toothbrush, caring brand for caring families.
There's nothing worse than your multi-bet missing, but nothing better than having it saved. Bet Saver.
Okay, Duba kono enya bobe pepe mraso Orlando atnazo den 7 banamom 21st clinic gomu ye expert in sciatica na sciatica na debia megajo za no ya wa wote free wisisi afa oto asikosi wonase ne san ya na wote no ene fa na sciatica o ma ya jo matum Ghana Africa ani wiase fa na ina so o na expert in this sciatica no 21st clinic obi ajo matum yare awdo ina no omitimi tu ase nemom de omo ye expert wo mpa sciatica emfidie go antimfidie no omo de hweni padua ni mansana omo ahwanya grogro omo bu adwuma ye pa branches ni ye more than 15 Ghana ha Kumasi ye we overseas junction e ben Alpha radio ni e po bo ase o Kansas Goddess e be call junction Accra ye odome market sunyane nkuranse ni techiman na ye ho 0249 311 311 0249 311 311 0540 311 311 21st clinic omu expert in sciatica na yemfon to anim say 3A Herbal Center woman na dey draw events 3A co capsules abadwaso na sa 3A co capsules na no e coco master obi e coco ha ne bia no nya binum ane ho ebeto ne ntempa so na sa draw we etiti yare miensa pe wo sisi ya oya wo coco ha wana sa wo ayemtim wo so wonya 3A co capsules ne bia ase betu ade ama anya grogora na ufa 3A co capsules na on confess draw way ama on run the biara da bi on se ko kwadro bu a onum a wonya running stomach ba we ntesa onum a bibia e fine the man enya grokro ba adwuma hu so betima to o ma mu ba bi eto bibidro bia no obetima nya bi ato Kolinak Daniel Bane Mr. Bane apedan go ina no obetimi enya bi ato 0546 107107 0546 107107 3A co capsules co mass I don't know Orlando akwaba
single yeja
hu ye de
bibia boko
bibia ko so boko
bibia boko
de yam yase yentie we fi se ma wabo ano de bre
wa ya metefo a etie Sompa 93.1 afin so ya hwefo a Sompa TV and no pay and fambra full time so ya tena se efisem and I de brewo and so our full time so ya be shen sem say e de a free coach Dr. Prosper Nateogum Asante Koroko head coach or the Nsembebre and so atuja area for local players and afin so omo qualities are omo deba on the field of play yentie coach Prosper Nateogum
is that if he has been able to do it, it's a clear indication that there are other players too in the local league who, when given the necessary opportunity, the right opportunity, will be able to also showcase their talent. The Ghana Premier League has quality. People think that there's no quality in the Ghana Premier League. There's quality. These are the very players who play here and they just cross the borders of this country. And then in the next 6 months or 7 months, we are calling them to come and play for the Black Stars. So the quality is there. If you look at even the players in Hasufo, the players in Kotoko, Mediama, Brekum, Chelsea, you can mention Heart of Lions and the other teams. If they continue with their scouting, I'm sure they'll be able to get players to also play. Look at somebody like Razak Simpson.
Eno coach Dr. Prosper Natoguma Santegoko head coach and Ochechem say local players no or more quality na mo amugidi say quality any league in my players we yana omo cross carpeta acha busumi nsiantem na ye from enso e Black Stars in him na Odesan 7 enso etuja na enche ena under 15 team no omunsu remu Israel ekoje Mundialito Promise Tournament no enso eba na Kate Okaku president at the Ghana Football Association moma me picture yes okosra omo enso ewo pram ebra team nenso etimi ababedu Ghana trophy no ena esi animu kama no na coach ono nso ede embrantia na se nkwadai enso ekoye sa achievement no ya preko yebusa nse yaw na president by no ensembei ena ode beto manim
more point na about no tell you my no no sign quality of the shouldn't put this is just the beginning because the player you team the player 14 15 and you have to aim high right you have one opportunity is given to you again you pick it and make sure that you utilize your chances and there will be competition against the national youth team no. Others are there also and still we are still scouting to cement the opposition and then fight go and then forward.
Eno head coach Edema National Under 15 team no and the Sansan to the bra president of the Ghana Football Association Mr. Ketiyes Okeku and so ebesromo after so mu free Israel and so ebepiem e Ghana ha no na yebusa ne say ni team na ekuta no no sisi a future no kra no say enetie
your future we have a lot of there's a lot of players in the system, a lot of good youth players in the system. You just have to find them and then give them the right developmental, and the skills, and then we step by step, because personally, I don't think that when it comes to development, it's all about going to win a cup or whatever, but giving them exposure, you get me?
enti eno head coach ya preko ene de sansem no enso etuja ochemu pa dia future ne de look bright ede ma national under 15 team no na yebuza ze coach o sambo nkwala we no na o cycle omo amom akwaje trophy bi say no say na usifaye no
president Mukuna
coach ya preko ya rush ene de sansem we nyina enso etimi atuja no na ya de se ye piemu enso ewo mrahye bedwafie na yakodi nkomo kakra enso ede afro chairman edema parliamentary select committee youth and sports Mr. Ernest Henry Nogbe ede nsem kakra enso atuja unise sinko ye bebo eye 2 double header Madagascar any Chad game no our World Cup qualifiers ne so ade na Ghana for ye major concern pa no budget no won sensem no say ade say o mampani ko tuja say budget ne de sisi ano obema bibia de dem pefe obia be hu de ekọ enti no obia pese o hu de ekọ na anya metodwa eno na chairman edema parliamentary select committee area betodwa say enchekra minister ebe chechiri nyinam yenkotie no.
Minister is preparing to brief the media. He will brief the media pretty soon about what has transpired so far. But you see, sometimes he wants to give opportunity to the GFA to do their work. You know, he's the minister for all the sectors. And Black Stars or this game is just a percentage of his responsibilities. So he will brief the media very soon about the where he took off. Where he took off and where he is now and where we are heading towards. You know, there's a match. I don't know whether there's a.
Eno enso Mr. Nobet Nogbe ene de sansem no enso etuja senchekra minister bemo obia hu de ekoso budget aye de ball maye Chad ena afen so Madagascar game no na afen so Ghana ni bia adwini mo enso etimi aye ne fine na aye de say Black Satellite under 20 side no omo resume anase omo campaign no omo resume den enso ewo Accra ni nyina ahoboabo a de say 26 April tournament AFCON eba so ewo Egypt no bibia enso betimi into pictures no ena ewo screen so a onso ultimi ehwe ne kama enso honim tin under 24 no omugusu a eboabo omo ho na yenwra mu ewo the Ghana Premier League nim no omo the goal of the month of match enso etimi aba na momma mi goals no na afenso yenhwe abrantia ni go a edikan no Kofi Tompio abrantia osi akan edema bechem United manyane ntiese oyoboase boy. Yes, ni go against Hasselfolk and your nomination for Goal of the Month award. And also na afenso abrantia your friend Emmanuel Mafo on also see a kind edema Adriana Stars. Yes, and also game against Nations FC. She fantastic goal. Yes. And now Brantiana Kelly Born is idea to at and offenso Razak Simpson on also go against Midiama and so Abrankese Razak Simpson go no and so at me enya nomination and so yes Razak ne shoot to sano and I board her at that and now last one no Patrick Esiedu on also see a kind Edema Kumasi Asante Koroko the game against Legon Cities and also at me enya nomination to these are the 4 goals ya nominated for Goal of the Month award and so match and so emu na coach your friend Abdul Karim Zito eden sem atujara or chemu padia football is all about movement and perfection yentie coach Karim Zito
but to say a bobola and results no go but bobo come I can say go we share in your money high 2 Emma your committee of performance was a repetition brings optimization brings perfection that they are here to do so and football is about moment now you prepare one result me who the playing said by the time I ever catch up at the right moment we don't have any other option apart from using that moment to achieve the objective.
Yes, enti eno Abdul Karim Zito, head coach Edema Dreams FC, and Ede and Semino and so Etuja. Now over the weekend, Vision FC and has of folk and so Edema Boy New the Ghana Premier League number. Now coach Ano Walker and head coach Edema Vision. What in Sembia Tuja or Chemo Padia supporters of Vision FC. More man tema goes to the moon. Mo ya ma dis mo trefie be 10 minutes wo kwa mumla na vision show mo goals ni nya sans o mo ni aso folk goals ni be bantem yentie Ano Walker
for sure yeah shares ewo your home ground tamani town
which then now be catch Vision fans
we catch Vision fans o mu cha o mbe hu go fefefa be ba no o mu mbetu nto mu brantem within 25 minutes ni ayi ya afi na be bobo tikita kanu beba ya bo but 25 minutes ni ayi us
Entino coach Ano Walker see on technical director Edema Vision and or the to just aso folk for mo beti bia hwia Sunday ebe goals ne be bantem na dey say ambassador major retired Amakai ametefio eden sem kakra to just ano committee yete omonhwehwe boxing bout ba so atorenchema esiye no oneda no na eden sem kakra to jafa.
Work that we have been assigned is very important, very, very important in more ways than one. It is very important as far as the image of Africa and Africa sports is concerned. It is important as far as the development and the safety requirements in sports are concerned. Very, very important as far as the safety and the security of our young people who participate in sports are concerned. And I think this is a very paramount consideration in this assignment.
Enti eno enso ensem kakra major retire ambassador Amakai Amatefio enso editudwa efa African football ye image no see ebetimi protect no ni kwa say bad news enso ebe rerem santi omo we say committee na omo dan no omo de ombe due diligent na afen so omo de bibia enso abetudwa na Ghana for ehu bibia eno so ekoso ehontino sinko obrani ntino megina we so na me de fisem no enso esia ene anope
Orlando ebeda wasepa say Prince obanisha asiama mentembaso in some better
talking about the budget review we say you be the question be budget for the Blasters games national team games so come on for the national team games no be my aware they will let us know whatever is going on. Yakobo child name Madagascar yewie up to now even we were proud to say on me who before the games comes on, right? Yakobo adi yewie how many weeks now, and we are now getting the information say sports minister the Bible to jadi amai like seriously kojo konsu ojina kwentia sama ebe ne babu niye and enye kojo
o pajire obezo kade
kojo ko ojina kwentia ade ne ye ka se ye be ye free ho nanso the same thing na ne ye
okay,
you get the whole point. And me one particular thing, you see this air budget review no me sure won't say a benya that much of an impact. That's the reality that we should understand. The whole thing is empenyufona sebi omudi enim no. They decide on whatever to do. Ewo omu meeting the kind of conversations on have, they decide whatever they want to do before it comes out. And when it comes out, Ghanaians has been speaking about a lot of decisions on Mateki over the years. You must say a mode do a sign and a penny for fire almost a sign. Almost sound what that kind of decision.
Having privilege of seeing such budgets in the past. And so Ghana Football Association, some more share Ghana football.
Yeah.
And the nim be call into sebio budget. Say near my be call board, be call da sebio propose pedium. Pedium say ade chimbi akakra de be ma so woni ukro akoba bi okwo camp. Those arrangements. Say be senior ma ndru ni Now the challenge is in the past, yeti hu baby asemba actually. This time around, say we command ministry. Name boy in the past allegations about FNU minister crying question back war baby. Now this time as soon as say Bibi a me feel say be 20 Ghana, me and 40 Ghana, ebi an community minister no they say I say for to dwa. First something to dwa. Nti esro ne se neme bia anka ebia ebekọ akọ menini ba akọye kanana se ebia ebenya mfaso this time around ye be ye free because Ghana for ho a asembeba so ye won neme bi wo ho a for instance ade esie football neme say esi neme ye di bo bitimi to so edoso but edu tournament na ye ntimi fa sa ade no to budget tu nti yetum se ade esie esi ade ba kwa 40 Ghana ebia na 10 Ghana because ye wa bia sumanse dwuma bi a ye bedi a saa se ka ye ntimi ntro sumanse dwuma ngum ye di sumanse dwuma ba na de trigger no operations but I want to mean because I saw breaking it down but I saw the share baby send a be a ko be yi ko ye saa ade no because of the sensitive nature of Senate and to some extent here because who through public backlash as to some of the figures first there was no publication
that's very true
what I see but
and
I caught tournament so this issue about ministry accountant me am in person meeting because me nim nekom ministry accountant but I am missing me nim nekom nipa na edin juma so those things say me say matras I don't want to go in but I don't do enya kron
okay.
I love the explanation you've given on this one. But the question here is the Intiana Mimi who say emphasis and Ibiamano. Did we not go to the World Cup in Brazil? What happened there? After that, later on Ghanaians need to know the kind of scare komu or the accounts never montano. There were some things I say here. Frankly speaking, yeah.
So once again. Say the issue of say nipa dodo aya kambom say yes you we honorarium that was the word Christian teacher used say honorarium me buy the difference buy time I con publish here there would have been hula balloon so they wouldn't have been even honorarium in the first place. I
understand that one.
The publishing me see I'm telling you on authoritative experience me see a best name be if only we publish it. Because like I know what goes into national team way, you have no idea. If I saw crowd will be benya in even just medicine in you have no idea. Somebody no crowd publish it, their name be or hunty and fanshim, and I bet so. Because the national team budget name you have no idea.
Well, okay, that's very true. Apostle, make your statement. You said something about Bibi ebeba abontie bia Ghanaians be hu say we aba abontie ebema backlash aba no either so be ye fraud dey akwa baby and our bet so now let's try to bring this up. Brazil the na ekusi here no I'm just citing that example. The next tournament what was the changes abai remember when say Brazil the no it was post after the incident na ekusi later and you find out say when a course so and you could talk be say and you could okay this incident but let's not forget that and no next yes I go Egypt Mokai Egypt the kosi wo honum nti me the any say I'm trying to relate it though say when after say SCAW but what I'm trying to highlight here near say ebiesia me yehu ama account never abonten Ghanaians were lamenting talking about it. No, definite. Baby, I be a can wasem. But right after that, no another tournament is abeba. These same people, they say kwa yebim. On their mate, no. And see, honor nana me what that kind of doubt. They say we no kwa na ebeba no. there could be things on betimi aye de ahye sumasia ye the way
budget never expect anything new.
Yeah, man, that's how I see it.
Right. Now, next tournament is the World Cup.
Yeah. So we should just wait to see how because for now, per the history and I said the background checks, no, and near my some time ago, and it tells me, don't say and yet before the tournament, but after the tournament, it tells me say there is no change beer ever because after the tournament, involved near the next tournament almost even it increases. Say tournament when I can once normally 10 cities. I'm just citing an example. 10 cities are you be soon one then 10 cities in case be 5 cities. The next one now you sue 10 cities in the next one acquire 20 cities. You got a point I'm making here. It's in Chadant me well, just like Apostle Kind, maybe be away in the or maybe making this statement. No, right. They will give out a budget, a best sounding reasonable in our ears. We are just waiting to hear that. Now, on images when I'm mediama non fan to so the rankings, no, CAF rankings, no Champions League, need non fan to sumaye. And I mean, sure there be Fabakone brands, and I mean, can't say me. Where most CAF Champions League semi-final appearances. Listen to this. Arahu papa. Me make a statement. Number 5, team Benada. Krobia Kumasa Santo Kotoko. Apostle Mpacho or Hasi. We dear, I'm privileged or Hasi. Kotoko, AJ Champions League. Esha says or more Bobra. This African continent, no. Ali edu semi-finals 21 times. Yemu
Niema rehobe mobone say. You started competition in 1964.
Yes.
67 na kodoko first finals.
Listen to the 64, 67 meaning 3 years.
Ali has they are nowhere because it's Smiley from Egypt. We need 69. In fact, in 69 no crano Ismaili almost share and kodoko semi-final. You understand?
So semi-final that time.
Call finals. I call semi-final. Yeah. Okay. So Ali cried on Sebi calculation on count. Ali back calculation 1982.
So you see the scenario here.
When Kodoko has gone to Kodoko has gone to 67. They Soka semi-final 69. 1970 Omuji 71 they went to final. 73 they went to final. So before meeting we were over 6.
This is very bad.
Yeah.
Ali Ababe did first 21 finals, and it's very bad. And Rana, Philip Nana near some of the CAF Champions League games. Frankly speaking, if you are watching some of the games, you could clearly feel say there are some improvement via air course in other teams. Or they to these teams now air come once, or they to some years down. Who feel say they've been an improvement in their game. Yeah. Frankly speaking, so now Apostle Kasa about the CAF Champions, no can see me. Tactical advantages here, Simba etiki against Amasri. Frankly speaking, Amasri found the ball from we very good. But because Simba for any aware, Amasri found ball that for betting no mabono. They tactically genius the way your mind say before the match, you better what park in the now you're more than what we should have done. And Tibo ne be do on no. Match reforming to me for born into form. Next of balloon born in failure. And the moment they do that, a break more rhythm of play. Because more bano, that wasn't the plan, say about born after you. And these are all things it has been done to improve, and I say it has been done for the game to improve. Chapaka, and I mean Philip game no. First half, Omucha Simba Park nearby. Come on. Or more outside that kind of parking area. No? Parking area and I'm said to me see another stadium. And I'm not lying, I'm not hyping it too much. Me who said the more I share games, then I share and near my we are. I feel like when are we also going to at least try something? I share that the rankings way by and what the fifth in terms of Champions League on the African continent or more semi-final pen. And to the Fako Euro, Nature and Europa. Team or the fifth in terms of going to the semi-final.
All right.
They say Ghana no penny.
Yeah. This issue our Prince is raising on. Mami, turn the other side of the coin. Or no, you see the head of the coin. Me, you see the tail of the coin. Now, guess what? The same thing boils down to the national team levels. When Ghana ya J4 in 1982, check and Egypt are just saying Nations Cup. No, you see, these are some of the factors I just say constantly dwindling effects in a year no. Dwindling effects in a buy no. And the Ghana called Nations Cup the best your group stage crown ya bow way out. The last Nations Cup in Ivory Coast, we're in a group with your group na nyadin sao. So you count on the face set and on paper. Nations or we are footballing nations, no. We're not in our group. The only football nation I know we are group with Egypt. But then can for swear.
One for the case of a football nation.
No, na make us say those are no me person me say your group no na paper weights and yet things are. But Ghana couldn't qualify out of a group of Mozambique and Comoros Islands. So where are we driving at? And here na yeko. So club football they say you dwindle and then look at their performance in Africa. 10 semi-finals, brah. And yeah, easy. It's not easy a feat too. But they say Alina apostle main insights. Say when a koroko. Na omo bobra in Africa na Ali was no near koroko. And now where is Ali and where is Asante Koroko? Yeah, do a comparative analysis. Menya show say show you be me show say by 1 year. Na enya show you ye. By 1 year, we show you. Say you can say a comparative analysis of Kotokwane Alice say differences in ye. Last time we bet na fiaka say Lamte Jotego say when they went to Ethiopia to play against St. George's, Ethiopia for winning what they did. Afterwards, me follow up to the story. When him say Ethiopia for sending contingent to Ghana, and with the weakness of our boys, so one more they will be weak. One Ghana boys and they will be weak. So I want a selection of beautiful women to deceive Heart of Folk team, no. And what happened? Almost Heart of Folk back by 4 goals to 0.
A man who has blessed in a way.
What's that?
I'm here to meet you.
No, you don't. The America won't say. They sent this almost send syndicates to Ghana to come and monitor and to know our strengths and weakness.
Yeah.
No more results on what the coin say. So Mumma will be very weak because your concentration will not be on the game, but on the Mba, you not a St. George's a shout of folk by 4 goals to 0. They make a what you say. So what they did was how to folk here training now. There was a training grounds or more mujina warfare training. Mba more fair. What you pass and I warfare.
I want to be your money.
Want to watch you cry, what you want ban so. Into born you ever start and I show that. It is psych. Into return like you know what how to folk did. I think we're more boss.
My boss here don't believe.
He said oh how to soon in your mukojine.
Oh yeah.
Yes. That is the dark side of the game. And so be a hunu. And apostle like I say, sometimes budgets no yes, say this is what we are going to spend. By the end of the day, we could exceed our budgets. The end year dreams say no, you bear manatra. I hope you get me. You bear manatra because we be to me see. Sometimes I was small be dream. Say koto BBC bra. I saw money extra money. You know what? On them dream now, but to me then one bobby. He has to pay. He or she has to pay. And in economics, you're from miscellaneous. Bibi to me see. Meti is mkope bibiedi. Me kope bibiedi along the line. No, say me ko hane probably a doom and anything. I don't have to take exact amounts from here to Kejetia.
Yeah.
I say me first can me scan here then eboso because I don't know what might happen. It could be some car me be fear bedding. Into some far probably a car or because of drop him direct at my doorstep because be a better there will be a natural phenomenon. I did always see I want to miss yes. Into when those things start happening, no, there comes miscellaneous. Into no, okay, so walk up ball any abrabona. As a Ghana they are quite true. And no, many prince is a Simba ne al-Nasri. Dark arts ne favor Simba. No, and a Simba are in the semi-final.
How questions here you say? And by phone will lead and you're born woman ni mana. Say baby a woman born a gruduni. And that yes set up near BBC. Not to say young catch up at least you some level of progress. So young kwani nim or him. Almost well set okay. Young to mean catch up is but at least any baby sana be a some level of progress be in our game.
Silko, so what year dynamics now? What Simas here and I say how things are going now. It looks like for now, no, your concentration in football no I am more of business than glories. He said we are thinking about how you benye sika no more than the glories no. Those were the times and gone are the days. Now our players are omobo by virtue of obenya din more. But and you know it didn't should match up with those your friends in sika no.
Na say no they say baby how.
No, but
Sunday baby because
sorry send me ba
I say din should come with money.
Yeah, sorry send me ba we mukitwe. You made the statement about they say you know first no na menka say a business aspect anymore. But the fact of the matter say first no na business no quite more than a need. But listen to this. The business aspect was handled
very well
by the management in paying for more than what they know what they are about. The last time we were having a conversation with Apostle, he told us something. You see, he has had the privilege to be with the Kotoko team at that time. So Obekaya, he was giving us some insight. And Udin Komo, effort those days, and Kotoko has to folk. Not among what in their glory days now. It wasn't just about, he said the idea, no kind of nay, oh, now more players, no money more, they had people behind the scenes, they were pulling strings. They knew the business aspect and business aspect of the game. They knew where to enter, what to do at that particular place. Baby, Dobby, and the results. No, as I have a players, no mere quality on the field. No, and tinye be abeba na Hindia, a quality player or could not for no swab. There have been something that has been done. A certain kind of quality of play. No, not the memo on the phone. No.
Yeah, this game, the year 2000. How many years ago? Which is about 25 years.
25 years.
Mekai had to folk Nigerian Diak, Senegal. How to folk I think on that school name. Yeah, Mekai had to folk Nigerian Diak in the year 2000. Yeah, now how to folk conquer the whole of Africa. No? Yes. How to folk played against Jendiak. I was in primary school.
No, that classroom.
How to folk that classroom.
Reason near the
what's that?
That classroom.
The kind of treatment of film before answer what pictures so born. You have no idea. But those days, you know, besides if despite all these mishandlings and what have you, but they were matching up with the results because there was quality. I hope they make a what I say. There was quality in abundance. Now how to folk midfield, no one body you. Now why no be in a sinchain? Chasalote, Joe Familia, Edmond Copson, bra. You have no idea. You man la Jogu. Now Jogu Crobon or bar. Me say how to folk team na me here 2000. No. I don't know. Just maybe. It may be after us. Maybe saying who sat in the
well,
how to folk team of 2000.
Philip Mamanase.
Now you man was self for Jibon on him say Ishmalado on him baby. Where Ishmalado stands on him Ishmalado location. But then
yes, you
I said it's an attitude. Bra.
Sanity. Philip Kwabena and Kumsabdas Apostle.
Was it dark arts? Bacho. The year 2000. Chokri or an idea.
I said it was still been a to be born. Born one who plan what per my checks.
Maybe I know everything that happened in the year 2000. I was covering the team, so I know everything. But I'm be can't send me sarcastic like, you know, it was a spiritual thing. It must happen before. Yeah, listen, it was a spiritual thing. I say see for us to win the trophy. It means that Nema be breakumu, and it's part of football everywhere. The Bianca said 2008 EG 4 bedroom moja wa na eden. Moja no bedroom moja na ensue. They were based in Kumasi before they moved to Accra. Yeah, and they won the cup. So as a football, Nema na kumno. Blaster name and president council. Me and Madam for Coach Prosper Natiogo, meaning on the issue of there's a lot of quality in the league. It's not true. Technical quality, no, often power. Okay? Sabio, we've been around. We are sure like the players you were mentioning. They were technically very good players. Very. Stephen Odro, they were trained in this country. Just still I was trained in this country. Chiefs are more here. We saw player name Emebiano Bebia Bono pass na ba baby Odibeji on him. Or Jibbo no so I'm talking about this league and the current no. On him or Jibbo na split second on him no the year. And watch most of the league games. First touch is a major problem for players, baby. First touch. Now when you first touch, I'll bet them we know the ball, baby. Say our ball, our opponent, be a man of ball. I feel no come pass. Or nim support, then your baby, I am my passing baby. I am kasa is all. I dream no crossing near. Saw the ball no year when democracy is terrible. Technical ability of your players. I've always criticized this, and it's because your coach is not baby. So you are quadro 4 players. So you are quadro 4, and then most of our players depend on. And now I'm trying to Declan Rice. I was talking about the fact, say, Declan Rice or no crampony coach, I set piece coach say, yeah, crossing ball nuntum.
Yeah.
Player no said there be. You need players who have great technical ability, need confidence, GDA, for them to do what they did. So even coach no create training now about set piece, no crowd, no ekasa or see there be, or you know because he has the ability to do that. League, you know how many free kicks? Now every week.
Yeah, league in there.
Free kick no crowd edawa. Shebe biaye bonu. Shebe biaye bonu fa. Asisa po ni je di miensan and 9.
Asimu.
Even crossing of ball with precision. How can example? One of the finest crosses of the ball. League, me can league. I'm not going anywhere. We are talking.
Yeah.
So the technical ability of your players is because foundation in here. The training. At first, we have quality course football, highly competitive, and then training new firm. When we need training of free fan who is training them? It's terrible. Look, why? Yaniana, Yankochan. Okay,
yeah.
Yankochan, it is here. Is it not Ghanaian players who are playing in this country?
Look at his players.
What happened? Today, say League Majenya should be. Mokopaka, are you excited about what you watch? Even the Kotoko. So, yeah, 1 or 2 years. But listen, the local league players and every recent time are from our national team. I don't want to go into that matter. Your players, no, be aside that, personally, players, like I say, personally, we a player now back Premier Division. Except personal training regimen. Like in the past in the league. Currently, it is almost zero. If football players are spending too much time on social media, forgetting self, or here rest. Michael Essien is one of the players that rest a lot on funny rest in the aggro. And no wonder, but for injury, look at how far he got. Because a very key component of player, one, development, and 2, output. And then local players, they are on phone 12 a.m. Who is watching it? Onwa bono onim niema ebema ni bono kre tumpon. Or call training na. Bas be fana kwe oba that's it. Edien sonku no no aye de kania sebeu. Coach actually no edien no no ye. Akani de no nothing. No personal training. Ntia no mo bobo Ghana League 70-75 no mo tiso omo bre. That is a major challenge. And if we don't address it, you're back. Because league matches are actually players are actually in recent past. And yes, I know. So when an outfield player, be a media man summer text, check how many outfield players are from the so-called big clubs. And they will call up the national team. So the technical quality of players. How many times they players every year? Mimi call Europe, Africa, Africa. Stevie Mokwala or Ugandan, or Ugandan.
Yeah.
Who came to play for Kotoko and Simba Aton. By Yankase local players, how many of them have moved and are playing in competition? I can answer me as we speak now. Which of the Ghanaian players have moved from the league and have gone there? Me call Europe, me call Africa. A Hawker there West. That if your players say what Ghana empty minya kwenya Sebio say your ball no cost until your rear. Young Gamoni Simba Mo will come and say Stellenbosch a club kitty was South Africa. Omu I want family crab castle yeah barbe farm players. That is the biggest headache. Big headache. Europe with Europe tunche me can't Ghana. Any African country. And me unza me ball club, me ball
yeah.
Me ball even a smaller club. These are the more serious issues we should be thinking about. Not chairman of the Parliament Committee on Sport catch a budget as for me it's I don't want to describe him, but unya ready, I don't come even tell us about unya. The penny for Nangasa name a hunya and crowd no baby almost dream home. If you by my minister still worship, do I care? Still worship about their day. Still worship about what? What has he done? About how many months? What has he achieved for still worship? No. We don't need that. Chairman, Patronima Bibi was sports I should spend energy and time to be dealing with. And call back at me say, Minister, no, I can't about boxing. For Nkola Eba. Walk back at me say, why she says, Sebio trainers, no. Mo pese ye mo a very good training on amateur box. Secondly, gyms now Nkola no free ban. Near my own, no person we improve it. Aha, then you are talking.
Okay.
Wabe friends and training kokasa. We come on, please.
All right.
The chairman should be more serious next time.
Apostle me da se pa me no ga se duba kwa ba pon se ma aduana num ye ba be farm course no ma revisit be ka se manum ni apon a e be wura mu akra Sompa 106.5 na yakofa wi aprem to breka se bo no e de abramo anti yam farm course no 0551 931931 0551 931931 0548 931 931 yes yeba na ya be fa mokos nti arans for minim so betima conjure magic kakra mamianga na nka me da fa me course ina bibia no I find pa anti 0551 931 931 0548 931 931 okay yam fa course no hello 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 okay hello
hello hello
yes sir body etio hello
Solomon
yeah solo udin design okaza friend
I'm a free and chance one some
okay
so I'm from Bonata to say watching on the Janov. Mamma more whenever you're putting in Amaso. Now and not to be a before the Mama Mako day. Because we should be a Monamna Champions League, only on the Caribbean, on the Kiadi, that flies a manema. Oh, my
okay, so that's hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because that's free. What dear?
Okay, you're frost, eh? You're frost, eh? Okay, yeah, to chief.
Let me come in and say,